Nitish Kumar to be Chief Minister of Bihar for 7th time. Oath ceremony to be held tomorrow afternoon. Nitish also elected as leader of NDA Legislative Party. Home Minister Amit Shah to review COVID-19 situation in Delhi at 5 p.m. today. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal to take part in the meeting along with senior officials of central and Delhi governments. Legendary Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee passes away at the age of 85 years. He was a recipient of Padma Bhushan, Dada Saheb Phalke Award and 3 National Film Awards. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweets that Chatterjee's death is a colossal loss to the world of cinema. Air quality further deteriorates in the National Capital Region. Severe quality recorded in several parts of NCR. India registers 5-day streak of less than 5 lakh active cases of COVID-19. Active case load shrinks below 4.8 lakh. Recovery rate in the country reaches 93.05. Namaskar, I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Let's start with our top story. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will meet Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal today to take stock of the COVID-19 situation in Delhi. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan along with senior officials from centre and Delhi will also join the meeting is crucial at this time as from past few days Delhi has been witnessing massive surge in COVID-19 cases amid the festive season. Corrective measures will be discussed to arrest spike in the cases. This is the second such intervention by Home Minister Amit Shah. So according to Delhi Health Bulletin, Delhi recorded 7,340 new coronavirus cases yesterday. The tally of active cases in the national capital on Saturday rose to 44,456, while 7,117 patients were cured and discharged. 96 patients lost their lives in past 24 hours in the national capital, and according to the bulletin, the total number of cases has reached 4,82,170, while positivity rate stood at 14.78%. Next story now, Nitish Kumar has staked claim to form next government in Bihar. Earlier, he was elected NDA Legislature Party leader in Bihar Assembly. BJP leader Rajnath Singh, Bihar BJP in charge Devendra Fadnavis along with other leaders were present in the meeting. The NDA secured an absolute majority by winning 125 seats in the recently held assembly elections, while opposition Grand Alliance got 110 seats. After holding NDA meeting, Nitish Kumar met governor and staked claim. He will take oath as Chief Minister for the 4th consecutive term tomorrow.
ये विधानमंडल दल की बैठक हो गई, उसमें फिर मुझे नेता के रूप में निर्वाचित किया गया। महामहिम राज्यपाल महोदय को उसका पत्र आज अभी दे दिया गया और उन्होंने इसको स्वीकार करते हुए मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में मनोनीत कर दिया। अब इसके बाद हम लोग बैठकर कल शपथ ग्रहण समारोह होगा, कल 4 साढ़े 4 बजे जो भी होगा आफ्टरनून में होगा, और उसके बारे में कितने लोग शपथ लेंगे इन सब चीजों के बारे में अब निर्णय होगा.
And BJP leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who were present in the NDA meeting held in Patna, where Nitish Kumar was elected as leader of the alliance, said that decision on Deputy CM will be taken later.
एनडीए विधायक दल के नेता नीतीश कुमार जी निर्वाचित हुए हैं और भारतीय जनता पार्टी विधायक दल के नेता श्री तारकिशोर जी और उपनेता श्रीमती रेणु देवी निर्वाचित हुई हैं और नीतीश जी के साथ सारे सभी लोग महामहिम राज्यपाल महोदय से आज मिले हैं और उसके बाद महामहिम राज्यपाल शपथ ग्रहण के लिए उन्हें आमंत्रित करेंगे. डिप्टी सीएम का फैसला तो यह सब बैठकर करेंगे लोग.
Right, to give us more information on this, our correspondent Abhishek Jha is joining us on the phone line. Abhishek, Nitish Kumar elected as the leader of the NDA Legislative Party and set to become Bihar Chief Minister for the 4th straight term. And oath ceremony will take place tomorrow.
Yes, Abhishek, and this is going to be a major victory of NDA, because continuously it has been able to retain its power in so many states, and Bihar is going to be one of the key states where NDA has been voted back to power, though the margin has not been as great as it was claimed to be. But still, Nitish Kumar will be the Chief Minister. That has been the questions regarding, and all the speculation has been put to an end with today's meeting that was held, where Union Minister Rajnath Singh was also present. However, there's little more to be speculated, because as Mr. Rajnath Singh himself has said that the name of the victim has yet not been cleared, and those legislators and Nitish Kumar government and the partners of NDA, they will decide on the future name of the deputy CM. So there's still it's still not very much clarity as to whether there will be a deputy CM or who could be the deputy CM, or the deputy CM will be from BJP or other smaller alliances of NDA. So there is still some speculation that are going on, that who could be the next deputy CM. But for now, we know that NDA has been voted back to power, and NDA has elected Nitish Kumar as its leader, who is going to be taking oath tomorrow as the Chief Minister of Bihar.
Right, Abhishek, and you are saying that there is a doubt on whether Sushil Modi will be the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar or not. My question to you is, what other names are doing the rounds, and also any decision on the cabinet berths? We might see new faces also.
Abhishek, it will be still a little premature to say if Sushil Kumar Modi will not be the Deputy CM. He has been Deputy CM, and he's been a senior leader of BJP, and now when BJP has already won 74 seats in the state, there could be some other name also who would be highlighted for Deputy CM or for the key ministerial portfolios. There are two other smaller partners of BJP who have won just 4 seats each, but since the majority of NDA is not going to be as huge, the margin is very less, because NDA has gained only 125 seats in the majority of an assembly where the majority is of 123 seats. Right. So now these smaller parties have they are in a position to negotiate hard with their, even though they are less in numbers and the partners are huge, but their position in the alliance and the overall assembly's composition have given them an opportunity where they can bargain hard and they can seek for senior ministerial berths or maybe even for a deputy CM post. But still, names are not clear, but we are hearing stories that
names are not clear, and it will be known in few days, I should say. And Nitish Kumar is set to take the oath tomorrow. Thank you, Abhishek. Thanks for your time. Moving on to our next story, the body of veteran actor Soumitra Chatterjee was taken to his residence from the hospital. From there, it was taken to Technician Studio, where the actor shot many of his films. From there, the body is being taken to Rabindra Sadan to enable people to pay their last respects. Soumitra Chatterjee will be cremated this Kioratala crematorium, and a gun salute will also be paid to him. The legendary Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee had passed away at the age of 85 years. He was admitted in hospital over a month ago after testing positive for COVID-19. Soumitra Chatterjee was Bengal's most celebrated actor and best known for his several collaborations with filmmaker Satyajit Ray. He made his debut in Satyajit Ray's 1959 film Apur Sansar, part of the acclaimed Pathar Panchali trilogy. He was the first actor to play the role of Feluda, the detective created by Satyajit Ray. And President Ramnath Kovind has extended his condolences over the passing away of veteran actor Soumitra Chatterjee. President in a tweet said, and I quote, "With the passing of Soumitra Chatterjee, Indian cinema has lost one of its legends. He will be especially remembered for the Apu trilogy and other memorable performances in Satyajit Ray's masterpieces. He made immense contribution to the craft of acting." President added that Soumitra Chatterjee's performances won him several national and international awards, including Dada Saheb Phalke Award, Padma Bhushan and Legendary Honour. Condolences to the family, the film fraternity and millions of fans across the world. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his condolences over the death of actor Soumitra Chatterjee. PM tweeted, and I quote, "Shri Soumitra Chatterjee's death is a colossal loss to the world of cinema, cultural life of West Bengal and India. Through his works, he came to embody Bengali sensibilities, emotions and ethos. Anguished by his demise, condolences to his family and admirers. Om Shanti." And Home Minister Amit Shah condoled over demise of actor Soumitra Chatterjee. Amit Shah in a tweet said, "Deeply pained to learn about the demise of legendary Soumitra Chatterjee ji, an iconic actor who took Bengali cinema to new heights. In Soumitra Da, Indian silver screen has lost a gem. My thoughts and prayers are with his family and countless followers. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti." And Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar condoled over the demise of Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee. Javadekar said that the passing away of the iconic Bengali actor Soumitra Chatterjee is a big loss to the film industry. Heartfelt condolences to his family, friends and fans. Om Shanti. Right, to talk more on this, Rajiv Bhattacharjee, our correspondent, is joining us from Kolkata on the phone line. Rajiv, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, and he tweeted that Chatterjee's death is a colossal loss to the world of cinema.
Undoubtedly, Abhishek, because Soumitra Chatterjee was one of the pillars of the industry. And not only that, he was an actor who has seen it all. And he's done all kinds of roles. He's played the hero, he's played the villain, he's played a comedian. He's done all sorts of roles and he's been very successful also. And really consider that a man like Soumitra Rai used to repeatedly cast him. You can understand the extent to which his acting show was accepted by the film fraternity. And not only in the serious parallel cinema world, but also in commercial Bengali cinema. So Soumitra Chatterjee was one of the mainstays for a very long time. And even after he passed the age of playing conventional traditional hero, he continues to be a very important part of the film that he played in. And as you well know, that he was shooting till the last month. Also, in spite of the corona outbreak, he went out for work. And therefore, he was a man who was totally devoted and into his art, into his craft, and apart from being a film actor, he was also a stage actor, a playwright, a poet, a painter, and a lot of things put together. And an all-round artist, that is what we call Soumitra Chatterjee. And therefore, indeed, irreparable and a huge loss for the Bengali industry.
Absolutely. And Rajiv, Soumitra Chatterjee will be remembered for his memorable performances in Satyajit Ray's masterpieces. And if I'm not wrong, he was associated with Satyajit Ray for over 3 decades and has done over 15 films with the filmmaker.
That is right. Whenever one talks about Soumitra Chatterjee, his association with the legendary director is one which overpowers everything else. I mean, those films are classics, masterpieces created by Soumitra Rai. Those will always be there. But apart from those, Soumitra Rai's films, of course, we will be seen and re-seen many more times over the years. And film lovers who are just growing up and will become mature a few years later will also appreciate the work of the director. But apart from that, in the commercial Bengali film cinema also, the film world also, Soumitra Chatterjee was a big name and is a big name. And therefore, it is always a big loss, but at the same time, yes, his work, his legendary work with Soumitra Rai. Now, if you compare the great Japanese filmmaker Kurosawa also had his favorite actor in social image. Now, we could do a comparison, like saying that Kurosawa had Mifune, Satyajit Ray had Soumitra Chatterjee, and you know, it is an interesting study which someone probably could do one day. Abhishek.
Absolutely. In a career spanning 6 decades, and Soumitra Chatterjee has acted in over 300 films. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you so much for your time. Moving on to our next story, President Ramnath Kovind greeted people of Jharkhand on their statehood day. President in a tweet said and I quote, "Greetings to the people of Jharkhand on the occasion of its statehood day. Jharkhand is a state with rich natural resources and rich culture, which we all are proud. I wish that with the blessings of Birsa Munda, the state continues to grow in the years to come." And PM Narendra Modi paid tributes to freedom fighter Birsa Munda on his birth anniversary. In a tweet, PM said, and I quote, "Birsa Munda was true savior of the poor and worked for welfare of deprived and exploited section of society. His contribution to freedom movement and efforts for social harmony will always inspire us." And India has added 2 more wetlands of international importance. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar in a tweet said that happy to note that India has added 2 more Ramsar sites. Lonar Lake in Maharashtra, the only crater lake of country. Sur Sarovar, also known as Kitham Lake in Agra. Wetlands are the world's natural water filters and one of the most productive ecosystem on the planet. That's what Prakash Javadekar tweeted. And the air quality dipped to severe at several places across the national capital. A thick blanket of smog was seen at several places and AQI stood at 545. Meanwhile, the air quality was at 561 at Mathura Road, 379 at IGI Airport area, 599 at Delhi University and 465 at Lodi Road for PM10 pollutant. And the System of Air Quality and Weather Forecasting and Research by the Ministry of Earth Sciences has iterated the following directions to the followed by the residents of the NCR. And let us now take a look at the update on COVID-19 from across the country. 42,156 recoveries were recorded yesterday, taking the cumulative total of recovered patients to 82,05,728. And with this, the recovery rate currently stands at 93.09%. And India's 3-pronged strategy of test, trace and treat is proving to be a big success. The fatality rate drops to 1.47% and the number of active COVID-19 cases in India stands at 4,79,216. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has said that India has continued to witness a decline in average new cases for last 5 weeks. Country reported an average of 45,295 cases in the second week of November in comparison to 73,154 cases which were earlier reported in the first week of October. Moving ahead, in J&K, Kashmir Frontier BSF paid last respects to Senior Inspector Rakesh Dobhal of 1011 BSF Artillery Regiment who made supreme sacrifice in the line of duty on Friday. Inspector General Kashmir Frontier BSF Dr. Rajesh Mishra led in paid floral tributes at Kashmir Frontier BSF headquarters in Homhama. Subordinate officers and other ranks of Kashmir Frontier and dignitaries from other forces and civil administration also paid homage to the departed brave heart. And Army today paid tributes to Havaldar Hardhan Chandra Roy, Naik Satai Bhushan Ramesh Rao, Gunner Subodh Ghosh and Sepoy Jondhale Rushikesh Ramchandra who made the supreme sacrifice on 13th November 2020 in North Kashmir. In a solemn ceremony at BB Kent, Lieutenant General B.S. Raju, Chinar Corps Commander and all ranks paid homage to the gallant soldiers on behalf of proud and grateful nation. And the upper reaches of Jammu and Kashmir, including Gulmarg and Sonmarg, received snowfall. The snowfall forced the closure of the Srinagar Leh Road as well as Mughal Road connecting Shopian with Poonch district were closed. However, light motor vehicles were allowed from Srinagar towards Jammu on the highway. Meanwhile, most of the areas in the plains of the Kashmir Valley, including Srinagar, received moderate rain, bringing the temperature 6 degrees below the normal. Pahalgam, Kupwara, Gulmarg, Jammu, Banihal and Katra also reported drop in maximum temperature. My department has predicted light to moderate rainfall for the next 2 days. And the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement was signed among its 15 participating countries on Sunday, launching the world's biggest free trade bloc. The participating countries are the 10 member countries of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and China, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. The RCEP agreement will accelerate the building of the ASEAN economic community and thereby allow ASEAN to become dynamic and strong partners in promoting cooperation for shared prosperity. Vietnamese Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan said at the signing ceremony held via video conference. The 15 participating countries of the RCEP account for around 30% of the global population, global gross domestic product and global trade. The signing came after more than 30 rounds of negotiation which were launched in November 2012, as well as number of specific leaders and ministerial meetings between the participating countries. And one person was stabbed and at least 10 were arrested after a fight broke out in Washington, D.C. on Saturday between supporters of U.S. President Donald Trump and counter-protesters. The melee occurred following a march through downtown Washington by tens of thousands of Trump supporters, echoing his unsubstantiated claims of election fraud. According to a spokeswoman for the City Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department, the person who was stabbed was rushed to a trauma center. The Washington Post reported that the stabbing occurred amid a melee between Trump supporters, some carrying batons, and counter-protesters that broke out around 8 p.m. The city's police department had made 10 arrests by mid-afternoon, a spokeswoman told Reuters, including 4 for firearm violation, 2 for assault and 1 for assaulting an officer. In Peru now, at least 2 people died and dozens others were injured in Lima after a protest against President Manuel Merino turned violent. Earlier, Prime Minister Antero Flores Arroz said that former President Martin Vizcarra's removal on corruption charges by the opposition-dominated Congress had been legal and that lockdown was responsible for the large number of protesters in Lima. Vizcarra oversaw an anti-graft campaign that led to frequent clashes with Congress in the country. However, the former president has yet to be found guilty of the corruption charges brought against him during the impeachment hearing prior to his ouster. In Israel, hundreds protesters against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem over his alleged corruption and the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Protesters rallied outside Netanyahu's residence and called for his resignation. Protests were built up as COVID-19 cases spiked in past few months. However, past demonstrations which aroused during the second national lockdown halted but resumed after Israel eased the restrictions. Israel has reported 3,23,339 infections cases and over 2,721 deaths. A COVID-19 pilot to test family members in care homes is being launched in the UK in a bid to give residents the chance to see family members over the Christmas period. Several care homes will offer regular testing to one family and member or friend per resident, either through home tests or rapid tests carried at care home. On Saturday, further 26,860 people tested positive for coronavirus from the previous day, with a further 462 deaths. Meanwhile, in Italy, 7 red zones, 9 orange zones and 5 yellow zones were mapped to tackle the COVID-19 situation. Health Minister Roberto Speranza has added 2 more regions under the lockdown. Country has reported over 11,44,000 cases and over 44,000 deaths. Now let us take an update on the COVID-19 pandemic from across the world. As of now, more than 5 crore 43 lakh coronavirus cases have been reported worldwide, with over 13 lakh 18,000 deaths. Over 3 crore 78 lakh people have recovered from the virus. The United States continues to top the list among worst hit countries by the pandemic so far, with the 1 crore 12 lakh cases. Well, that's all we have in this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.